Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into chapter 17 of the Bhagavad Gita,
That's right. Shraddha Vibhag Yoga.
or the Yoga of the Threefold Faith. And our mission, really, in this deep dive is to give you a shortcut to understanding something quite profound.
Which is how the quality of your faith, your core belief, isn't just a small influence. It actually shapes, well, everything. Your life, your actions.
Exactly. We're pulling insights straight from the text here, and you'll see why intention, your underlying intention, matters so much more than maybe we think.
It's fascinating how it all starts. Chapter 17 kicks off with Arjuna asking Krishna a really practical question.
Yeah, he asks about people who do things like sacrifice, yajna, or austerity, tap, or even charity, dawn.
And they do it with real faith, genuine belief.
But maybe they're not, following the scriptures to the letter.
Exactly. So Arjuna asks, what kind of faith is that? What category does it fall into?
And that question just opens the whole thing up, doesn't it? It forces us to look at the nature of faith itself.
Right. It really does. And Krishna's response is immediate. He doesn't really hesitate.
No, he lays out these three distinct types of faith, or shraddha: sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic.
And this is where it gets, well, I think, really compelling for us today.
Because these aren't just dusty old categories, they give us a lens.
A powerful lens, yeah, to look at our own actions, our own motivations right now in modern life.
Maybe in ways we haven't really considered before.
So, should we start with sattvic?
Yeah, let's unpack sattvic faith. What's the core of it?
Well, at its heart, sattvic faith is about a deep belief in, let's say, a higher consciousness. God, spiritual teachers, gurus.
And in the wisdom found in scriptures.
Right. But here's the really key part, I think. Actions that come from the sattvic faith, the yajna, tap, dayan we mentioned, they're performed selflessly, nishkam. That means without any attachment to the results, without expecting anything back.
Wow. Okay, so it's purely about the action itself, the purity of the intent.
Exactly. It's a challenge to how we usually think, isn't it? So focused on outcomes.
It really is. That's a massive distinction. The satisfaction comes from the integrity of doing it, not what you get out of it. Okay, so what about the next one? Rajasic faith.
Right, rajasic. So interestingly, it can often motivate the same kinds of actions on the surface.
Like yajna, tap, dayans again.
Yes, exactly. But the driving force, the motivation underneath is totally different.
How so?
Here, the actions are done more for, well, outward show, for reputation, for personal gain, for profit, making a name for yourself.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's easy to picture the really obvious look at me kind of actions.
Sure, the very performative ones.
But how do we tell the difference between that, maybe the more subtle desire for external validation, and a genuinely good intention? Is it just an internal feeling?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's the kind of discernment Krishna is pushing us towards. The outer act might look the same.
But the inner intention changes the quality of the faith behind it.
Precisely. And then that brings us to the third type, tamasic faith.
And this one sounds darker.
It can be. This is where the quality of faith can actually lead to harmful results. Actions driven by tamasic faith often come from ignorance, or maybe blind superstition.
Or even, as the text says, with the intent to actually cause harm.
Yes, that's included too. It's a sobering point.
It really is. That faith itself isn't inherently positive, it can be destructive.
Exactly. Krishna isn't just saying, have faith. He's forcing the question, what kind of faith? What's its quality? Is it pure? Is it driven by ego? Or is it born from ignorance?
It demands a much deeper level of self-awareness.
It absolutely does. This insight that not all faith is beneficial is crucial. The quality dictates the impact. Tamasic faith really underscores the need for discernment. Belief, if it's misguided or rooted in negativity, can cause real damage.
Damage to oneself and to others, yeah. Okay, so we have these three qualities: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. How do they actually play out in those specific actions, yajna, tap, and dan?
Right, let's connect faith to practice. So sattvic yajna, sacrifice or worship, is done according to guidance, like from scriptures. And crucially, without seeking personal gain or specific results from it. It's about devotion, not a transaction.
Got it. Instead of tap, austerity?
The purpose here is very clear. Purifying the body, the speech, and the mind.
And the text gives specific examples, doesn't it?
It does, very concrete ones. Ahimsa, nonviolence; sakya, truthfulness; brahmacharya, which is often translated as celibacy or control of senses; and Manki Shanti.
Peace of mind.
Yes, peace of mind. And it's important to see this isn't about self-punishment. It's about rigorous self-refinement.
Thinking about peace of mind as an austerity in our world today with constant distraction,
Right.
achieving real inner quiet takes huge discipline. It's like an active choice against the noise. That feels like real self-mastery.
Absolutely. It's a profound practice in itself. And then there's Sattvic Dhyan, or charity.
Okay, what makes charity sattvic?
Well, the criteria are quite specific. Giving to the right person or maybe the right cause at the right time and place. And most importantly, with absolutely no selfish motive and no expectation of getting anything back.
That really transforms it, doesn't it? From feeling like an obligation or a transaction.
Into just a pure act of giving. The joy is in the giving.
Okay, this is really expanding how we think about intention. And then Krishna introduces something else powerful, the mantra, Om Tat Sat.
Yes, this is huge. He identifies this phrase, Om Tat Sat, as a symbol of the Supreme Being, Paramatma.
A symbol of the ultimate reality.
Exactly. And it has a very practical application.
Which is?
These words, Om Tat Sat, are meant to be chanted during yajna, dhyan, and tap, during these very actions we've been discussing.
And why? What's the purpose of chanting them?
The text tells us it's to purify the actions, to sort of elevate them and help ensure their, well, not necessarily success in worldly terms, but their spiritual efficacy.
Ah, okay. Purifying and dedicating the action.
Yes. And if you look at the bigger picture, it's like a constant reminder that every action ideally should be offered or dedicated to that higher principle, to God.
So it takes even mundane things and makes them potentially sacred.
It really does. It changes our entire relationship to what we do.
So wrapping this up then, this whole deep dive into chapter 17, what's the big takeaway for us?
I think it boils down to this incredibly powerful central message. The type, the quality of our faith has a profound impact on, well, everything, our whole life, all our actions.
It's not just that we believe, but how we believe. That's the crucial part. Sattvic, Rajasic, or Tamasic.
Exactly. And it suggests that true faith, the most beneficial kind, is pure, it's selfless, and it's ultimately directed towards something higher than just our own ego.
It's about integrating that inner conviction with what we actually do.
Right. Imagine the difference if we didn't just do good things, but we really focused on the purity of the intention behind them. Knowing that gives the action value, regardless of the immediate, tangible outcome.
So, Krishna suggests that this path, the path of sattvic action, rooted in sattvic faith.
That's the path towards peace, towards true success in life. Aligning the inner belief with the outer deed, with the purest possible intention.
Okay, so let's leave everyone with something to really think about. A provocative question, perhaps?
Good idea.
How about this? Think about just one, daily action you perform. Could be anything, making coffee, driving to work, sending an email, maybe even just breathing consciously for a moment.
Okay, a small everyday thing.
Yeah. Now, what if you were to intentionally perform that single action with a purely selfless, sattvic intention? Maybe you dedicate it to a higher purpose or just to the well-being of everyone,
So consciously shifting the shraddha behind that simple act.
Exactly. How might that tiny shift in intention transform your experience of doing it? And maybe even the outcome. What new layers of meaning could you uncover in something you thought was just ordinary?
That's a great question to mull over, how changing the inner quality changes the outer experience.